Now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present
Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you Edward G. Robinson in You Can't Die Twice, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
Friends, if a camel got a drink of water only 3 times a year, his tongue would hang out like a Christmas necktie. But an Autolite Stay Full battery thrives on 3 drinks a year. Yes, sirree, an Autolite Stay Full battery needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. And by Cornelius, an Autolite Stay Full battery has extra plates for extra power, protected by fiberglass insulation for stronger, longer life. Why, in recent tests conducted according to the Society of Automotive Engineers Life Cycle Standards, Autolite Stay Full batteries gave 70% longer average life than batteries without the Stay Full features. So remember, be battery right. Get Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents Edward G. Robinson in a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Yeah. It's funny how it happened. Take a good look at me. Am I the type you'd say could harm a fly? Ask around my neighborhood. Or ask any of my old customers. Sam, they tell you...
Sam Brown? Why, he wouldn't say boo. Sam Brown, a murderer? Besides, there must be some mistake somewhere. Sam's dead. A whole year now.
So that's what I want to explain, how it all happened. It all began that Sunday morning at home with my wife, Katie. Poor Katie. An April Fool.
Today is April Fool, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, I guess it is, Katie. Why?
Why? Because we'll have to expect a lot of silly tricks today, that's why, from your so-called friends.
Yeah, that's right. Guess we'll have to be on our guard, huh?
You're talking.
Yeah.
After the way you fell for that April Fool's joke last year.
Yeah, some letdown, all right. When I learned it was all a practical joke and I hadn't won $50,000 in the Irish sweepstake. Hey, you sure took it to heart, too.
Oh, why not? Will I ever in my life even see money like that?
Oh, Katie, please.
Will you ever make it from your miserable milk route? Will you?
Oh, I'm sorry I even mentioned it.
You were going to give me so much. You were going to get places. Throw $1 million at my feet. $1 million what? Empty milk bottles?
Well, so I didn't get the breaks. Now, what do you want me to do, Katie? Rob a bank, murder someone? Please let me alone, will you? I want to hear.
Turn that off and listen to me. Murder somebody, he says. Being poor is murdering me. I'm fed up, I tell you. Look up to here.
Oh, Katie, please.
Don't Katie me. What's the matter so early in the morning? Hello?
Mrs. Catherine Brown?
Yes.
You're the wife of Samuel E. Brown of 22 Maple Street?
Yes.
I'm sorry to have to inform you that your husband has been killed, Mrs. Brown.
What's that?
His body was found just a few hours ago in a ditch on the Clinton Turnpike. Killed by a hit-and-run driver, Mrs. Brown.
Ha, ha, ha. What is this? Somebody's idea of an April Fool gag? Now cut it out.
I'm really sorry, Mrs. Brown, but this is not an April Fool gag. I wish it was for your sake. Please call it the county morgue, will you?
What?
Well, you'll have to identify the remains. It's almost beyond recognition. But there's a wallet, Mrs. Brown. That's
Katie,
all we had to go on.
Listen, you. You think a joke like this is funny? You ought to have your head examined. Who is this?
Police Sergeant Ryan, ma'am. 3rd Precinct.
Go on, you crazy dope.
Mrs. Brown, please be at the morgue as soon as you can. That is, if you want to claim your husband's body.
Hey, what was it? Some gag?
Of course it was a gag. Well, you're right here. Probably that Joe Brody again with his April Fool jokes. He'll get a piece of my mind, believe you me.
4 firemen, however,
Must
were
you
overcome
listen
by
to that
the smoke.
radio?
Oh, Katie, my
Boy
one
Scouts
day
from
off a
this
week.
morning
Let me
discovered
live,
the body of a
please.
man tentatively identified as Samuel E. Brown, a local milk driver employed by Dessel Dairies Company.
What? What did
He's
you say?
believed to
Shut
have
up.
been the victim of a hit-and-run driver. The body was found in the ditch on the Clinton Turnpike, mutilated almost beyond recognition. A wallet is the sole clue as to his identity. And that winds up the 9:30 edition of the...
Well, what do you know about... Did you hear that, Katie?
Yeah, I did.
Well, that was me, wasn't it? Me they were talking about. That's a hot one, isn't it? Huh?
Sam, That phone call just now.
Yeah?
I thought it was an April Fool joke. Must have been the police. Wonder how in the world...
Huh? Now what?
Let me... Hello?
Katie? This is Harry, Katie. Gert and me, we just heard. We were listening to the radio and You all right, Katie? You know about it?
Sure I know about it, but...
Oh, we feel awful about it, Katie. And we're coming right over. We'll take care of everything.
Harry, listen. It's all...
Gert will go downtown with you when you're ready. And while you're... That is while you're there, I'll take care of all the paperwork. Now, excuse me for mentioning it at a time like this.
I don't have to go any... What paperwork?
By the insurance policy I sold Sam, remember? Remember I told you both how someday it might be... Well, little did I dream. I'm so glad I talked you both into it. 10,000 with double indemnity for accidental death. That's 20,000, you know. A final thought for your welfare from Sam.
Harry, I can't...
I know you don't want to talk about it now. Listen, Katie, we'll be right over. 15 minutes.
Harry!
What was that all about? What do you want? Katie, I'm talking to you.
Wait. Sam? I'm trying to think. Oh, it's impossible. You're right here. But Sam, what do they mean?
Huh?
They identified you by your wallet. You have it, don't you?
My wallet?
Your wallet!
Naturally, right here in my pocket where I always... What the devil? I'm wearing the same pants. It's not here. Wait a minute. I remember something now. Well, that maybe clears up this whole mystery.
Yes, Sam?
Well, last night after the poker game, coming home on the bus, there was some character jostling against me. We almost had a fight on the bus. Sure, now I think of it, he must have picked my pocket. Why, Katie, it's him they must have found on the turnpike. Sure, say, let me at that phone, will you? I'll call the police and straighten out this
No,
whole...
wait. Wait, Sam.
What for?
Sam, maybe we ought to consider this thing a little.
Consider what?
Your $10,000 life insurance policy, Sam, with that double indemnity clause.
What are you talking about?
About our one big chance that we've been waiting for.
Say, what are you driving at?
Did anybody see you coming home last night?
No, I don't think so. Why?
Can't you understand? There's a body lying in the morgue. The only thing they got to go by was that wallet. Say you never came home last night, Sam, or ever again. Say I went right now and identified that wallet. The insurance company would pay me $20,000, wouldn't they?
Yes, I guess they would. Are you out of your mind?
You could disappear right now. Go to Chicago, say, without being seen. I could write you general delivery. After a while, after I collect, I could join you there.
Oh,
no one will be the wiser. We can begin life all over, rich. This could be it, Sam.
No. Money gotten this way would never do us any good, Katie.
For that amount of money, I'll take my chance, and so will you.
Katie.
You won't do it, Sam. Oh, yes, you will. Because if you let me down this time, it's the end.
Katie,
$20,000. $20,000.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Edward G. Robinson in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Say, Hap, will you help me out here?
Well, sure.
All right. Pretend you're on a quiz program, and I asked you this question. What is it that needs water only 3 times a year?
Well, let's see. It's, is it a kangaroo?
No, it's not a camel nor a cactus.
Oh. Well, can you give me a hint?
All right. Goes on your car. The initials are ALSFB.
ALSFB? Oh, I've heard that somewhere before.
It's dandy. It's dynamic. It delivers power, pep, performance. It's an Autolite Stay Full battery that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
Hey, don't tell me. Let me think. It's,
I can't give you any more hints, except to say it's an Autolite Stay Full battery with that extra liquid reserve.
That's it. It's an Autolite Stay Full battery.
Right, with Autolite. The gentleman wins a hand-embroidered Autolite Stay Full battery carrying case and the right to drive into the nearest Autolite service station and buy an Autolite Stay Full battery. Remember, be battery right. Switch to Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Edward G. Robinson as Sam in You Can't Die Twice, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Katie always could make me jump through a hoop. Besides, I might as well admit it. I'm human. Show me the human can spit at that kind of money. Anyway, I snuck out of town that very day. Got to Chicago, got me a crummy room under the name of Lionel Hendricks. Weeks went by and nothing happened. No news at all from Katie, and I got really frightened. Something gone wrong. I wrote her. Got an answer. General delivery.
Dear Mr. Hendricks, in answer to your inquiry, everything is proceeding smoothly. I'm advised that the delay on the transaction is because of its unusual nature. No more letters, please. Thank you for your interest sincerely.
More weeks passed. Another month, 2, 3, without a word from her. How the police found out? Were they on my trail? And then I began to get suspicious of Katie. What was she up to? I had to phone her.
Hello?
This is me.
Are you out of your mind? Oh, it's you, Clara.
Well, I had to talk to you. Why haven't you written? What are you up to? Haven't you got it yet?
Not yet.
Well, when?
In a little while, Clara. Just have a little more patience.
Oh, cut out that Clara stuff.
I'll be seeing you soon,
But,
dear.
Katie, it's awful lonesome for me. You love me, Katie?
Of course I do.
Well, I get to wondering. It's 6 months now. This is crazy. I'm a wreck. I'm scared. I can't stand this life. I've never been away from home. I'm a family man, Katie.
Katie, make it quick, will you? For Pete's sake.
Who's that?
What?
That voice.
You're imagining.
I heard a man's voice. He's right there in the room with you. Now, don't deny it.
I'll explain everything when I see you, Clara.
I see. So you're two-timing me, huh? Well, that explains everything. I'll fix you. I'm coming home right now.
If you do, you'll go to jail for about 10 years. Think it over. Goodbye, Clara.
Hey, you see? What could I do? Anyway, that's when I started to drink. What else was there? There I was, all mixed up and alone. I used to get good and drunk and wish someone would at least say,
Hello. I said hello. You all alone?
What's that?
You really tied one on, haven't you? Stranger in town?
Oh, a stranger everywhere. How do you know?
You're lonely, huh? Aw. Well, don't cry about
I'm
it.
not crying.
You want company?
Sure.
You're kind of cute. Luther,
Yeah, Cleo.
rye high on the gentleman here.
Coming up.
Your name is Cleo, huh?
Yeah, I know. Cleo Carter. What's your name?
Sam.
Sam. Oh, Sam. Sam what?
Oh, I mean Lionel. My name is Lionel Hendricks. That's my name. Lionel Hendricks.
What happened to Sam?
Oh, he's dead.
Dead.
Yeah, dead. Poor lonesome ghost. Nobody cared.
Are you married? Uh-huh. Where you from, Lionel? You're not on the lam or something, are you? Cop shy?
Nobody cared. Not even his widow. Sam's widow. Her name is Katie. Catherine, you know. Katie don't even care. Two-timing him. Oh, well, never mind. Change the subject. What do you do, Cleo?
This and that. What do you do, Lionel?
Huh? That and this. Where are you from, Cleo?
Here and there. You?
Oh, there and here.
We make a great team, don't we,
Yeah,
Sam?
we sure do.
Here you are, Cleo. Fly high.
Thanks, Luther.
How about a trip up the Nile, Cleo?
Character. Luther's a comic, Sam.
Yeah, now, my name isn't Sam. Now, Lionel is my name. Lionel Hendricks.
Excuse me, Lionel
That's
Luther,
right.
not Sam.
I remember.
Hey, when did you get back? I got to pay a visit. Nice to have met you.
Oh, no. Where you go? Where you going?
Oh,
no. Don't leave me alone, will you?
You like my company?
Oh, very much. Oh, very much.
Much is that?
Yeah, I certainly
Well,
do.
it's this way with me, Lionel. I'll be very frank. First of all, you're a married man.
Oh, no, not me. Now Sam's married, not Lionel. That's Sam Brown. Poor good fellow. All of a sudden dead. Killed dead. You know, all was left of him? A wallet. Just a few cents in it. Now he has $20,000. Success story.
$20,000?
Mm-hmm. He was worth more dead than alive.
Lionel, let go of my hand. Look, I've got to see a friend over there.
Yeah, but why?
Percentage, Lionel. He always shows me a good time. Spends money like it was water. He's rich.
Oh, he's rich. Well, I'm richer. Now, don't leave me alone, Cleo. I got $20,000, I tell you.
Not you, Sam.
Well, what's his is mine. I can lay my hands on it any time I want.
You wouldn't kid me, would you?
Oh, don't say a word. Not a word. Oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
Well, I think you better come rest at my apartment, Lionel. I really do. We can talk there. I like your talk. It jingles.
What?
You awake, Angel?
Huh? What? Where am I?
At little Cleo's, don't you remember? Just running the vacuum. All those butts you tumbled on the floor.
Cleo?
Cleo Carter. Took pity on you, let you sleep off a hangover on the couch here. Cleo. Are you forgotten?
I remember.
Guess what you need's a little drink, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's on.
Oh.
You know why I'm laughing? I'm surprised at myself.
Why?
Because I like you. I don't know when I ever felt this way before so fast.
Hmm?
You said you felt the same way about me. Did you mean it, or was it that bottle talking?
Yeah, I must have meant it, Cleo.
All right, then. How does it feel to be dead, Sam Brown?
What?
How do you suppose Katie's taking him?
No, I didn't tell you.
Oh, it's all right. You told me everything, but it's safe with me. To me, Sam Brown is dead.
Oh. Could I please have that drink?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
The insurance money really comes to $20,000, doesn't it, or were you exaggerating?
No, I mean, yes, it's 20,000.
Why are they taking so long to pay off?
Oh, I don't know.
10 months is a very long time. Maybe they've already paid and Katie's holding out on you.
Oh, no. Katie wouldn't do a thing like that.
Why not? Look what she's already done for the money.
Well, not Katie. She wouldn't.
She may have met another man she likes more than you.
Oh, now, stop it. Will you? Katie isn't like that.
Look, you. Did you mean what you told me about you and me, or didn't you? Will you repeat it sober? Right now?
What? Repeat what?
That you never felt about her in all your married life the way you feel about me? That you're going to leave her for me? After you get the money? Say it again, Sam, or walk right out of my life.
Oh, Cleo.
I mean it.
Well, I can't say that about Katie. I just can't.
Get out.
That's the way you feel. I'll go.
Go ahead. When you leave, you might think about whether or not you can trust me now that I know all about it.
What?
I could call the police, you know.
Oh, Cleo. I never did know how to handle women. That was always my big trouble. Well, she could have called the cops, couldn't she? So I made up with her. Anyway, I had someone to talk to now. Maybe something would happen. It did. Oh, she was smart, that Cleo.
You know, Sam, it'll be good to have $10,000 all at once.
Yeah, sure will.
Know what would be twice as good? 20,000.
Wish for the moon, why don't you? My share's only 10.
Your share's as much as you can get. You can get it all.
Oh, no. Katie would never give it to me. Not all of it.
The way I figure it, Sam's this. She'll come here to Chicago when she finally collects. Well, she can't afford to have you suddenly turn up alive back there, so she'll come here. When she does, we'll take it all, you and me.
Oh, no. No, she'll never give me all of it. I know, Katie.
I said we'd take it. Use your head, Sammy. Use your head. There's ways.
Huh? Oh. Oh, no, Cleo, no.
Well, perhaps not. But get used to the idea just the same. Like breaking in a pair of shoes. Know what I mean?
That's the way she worked on me, over and over again. Then she began to get impatient until one day, a year less a day from the time I left home.
What is all of this? A practical joke? Tomorrow's April 1st. You waiting to tell me April Fool? I'm calling your bluff, Sam. Come on down to a phone booth right now and call that wife of yours. Let me hear with my own ears.
Hello?
What do I say?
Answer her.
Hello, Mrs. Brown. This is, me.
I've got it. I'm holding it in my hand now. I'm leaving for Chicago this afternoon. I'll be there at midnight. Get me a room at the Stevens.
You'll meet her at the station information booth.
Tell her.
I'll meet you at the station in information booth, Katie.
But why?
You're renting a cabin out in the country. You're taking her on a second honeymoon.
Cleo.
Tell her.
Hello. Hello.
Katie, I'm renting a cabin out in the country for us. We're going on a second honeymoon. Oh, Cleo, I can't go through with it. Please change your mind.
I'll give you just 15 minutes. I'll be hiding in the back of the car, and if you're not out there with her and the money in 15 minutes, I'll have every cop in Chicago looking for you. I mean it, Sam.
Lionel.
Thank you, Mr. Gaitner.
Darling. Lion. Oh, Sam. My darling Sam. I'm so happy.
Hello, Katie. Don't cry.
You're crying, too.
Oh, no.
Sam. We're together again.
Yeah.
And we're rich. We're rich.
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you excited? Wasn't it worth waiting for? And no one suspects. I can't believe it. We have money and we're together.
Yeah. Here, let me take your bag.
Yeah, it hasn't been out of my hand the whole trip. It's all in here, in $100 bills.
Oh, no wonder it's so heavy. Come on, let's go, quick.
We're really going on a second honeymoon. Oh, Sam, I could die for joy. Well, it certainly is way out in the country, Sam. Say that for it. So quiet.
Yeah, I know.
You're acting funny, Sam. I couldn't help it that it took so long. They said they had to investigate and everything. It was no picnic, let me tell you.
Oh, the devil is that light. Oh.
What is this the cabin you rented for our second honeymoon? This shack? Sam, what is it? You couldn't have brought me here for a honeymoon. Why did you bring me here? Answer me, Sam.
I'm leaving you, Katie.
What?
I'm leaving you. This is the end of our life together.
But why? Why?
Open the bag and get out the money. Here. Now, you take half and I take half and we each go our way. Please, quick.
How can you do that?
I want my half now.
You mean you want it all, Sam?
Now, you said you'd let me handle it alone, Cleo. You promised not to interfere. You promised.
So that's it. Another woman.
Take the money out of the bag, Sam, and let's go.
Oh, Sam.
Oh, Katie.
How could you do this to me? I loved you, Sam. I loved you. I wanted only your good. Believe me.
Oh, Katie, don't cry. I can't stand seeing you cry. It hurts me. Katie.
Sam!
Huh?
Get the money, Sam, all of it.
Katie, I have to do this.
Not 1 cent.
Now, give it to me, Katie. Cleo, can't you keep half?
Half? I'm keeping it all. And you know what else I'll do? I'll send the police a letter.
Oh, no.
And tell them everything.
No, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't I? Oh, wouldn't I, though?
Kate, you don't mean that.
Just try me.
No,
Go
Katie,
ahead.
Katie.
You might as well put down that wrench
No,
because
Katie.
I'm not scared of you. Not that much. I'll send them a letter with a whole story and your description and hers and everything.
You won't.
Ah!
You won't. Because it's all your fault. All your fault. All your fault.
Katie was dead. I don't remember much of the ride back to Cleo's place with the police with the money on my lap. I was numb, exhausted. I collapsed on the floor of the apartment and fell asleep, cradling that valise, and it was past noon. I woke up. The valise was still in my arms, but it was open, and the money was gone. And so was Cleo. She wasn't there. She was gone. I was alone. Cleo. Luther, have you seen Cleo today?
So she left you, huh?
Yeah.
You better have a drink.
Yeah.
You look as though you could stand it.
That's right.
Well, you can't blame Cleo. Not after what you done last night.
Huh? Last night?
I know all about it.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean, Sam? How can you live with yourself?
I didn't do anything.
Don't give me that. I know everything because I was there.
No.
You think no one was watching you, huh? But, Sam, I saw the whole thing from start to finish.
You couldn't have.
Hannah, will you? If I done that, I couldn't live with myself for the rest of my life. They'll torture you, see?
Now, stop it.
You won't eat, and you won't sleep. Because the memory of it'll always haunt you.
Oh, stop it.
It'll haunt you until the day you die. Unless you confess right here and now.
No.
Confess!
All right, stop. I did it. I killed my wife. That's about all, Lieutenant. It was strange how it all happened. Strange how it started. And stranger still how Luther here knew.
Yeah. How did you know, Luther?
Oh, I didn't, Lieutenant.
What's that?
Oh, not a thing. Oh, what did I say to him? How can you live with yourself after last night? So what? Everyone done something last night they was ashamed of. Oh, every night in the week. How was I to think this here guy committed murder? You see, Captain, all I was up to was Well, what's the date today? You get it now? I was just making what an April Fool joke.
April Fool joke. April Fool. Oh, Luther, you killed me.
Thank you, Edward G. Robinson, for a great suspense show.
Your name, Wilcox?
Yes, Mr. Robinson.
You the fellow that keeps talking about Autolite stay-full batteries?
Yes, Mr. Robinson.
Well, I want one of those batteries in my car, see?
Yes, Mr. Robinson.
Can't you say anything but yes, Mr. Robinson?
Yes, Mr. Robinson, I can say this. Stay-full batteries are made by Autolite men, who make over 400 products for cars, trucks, airplanes, and boats in 28 Autolite plants from coast to coast. Yes, sirree, and Autolite also makes complete electrical systems for many makes of America's finest cars. Batteries, spark plugs, generators, starting motors, coils, distributors. All ignition engineered to fit together perfectly, work together perfectly, because they're a perfect team. So, folks, don't accept electrical parts that are supposed to be as good. Ask for and insist on Autolite, original factory parts, at your neighborhood service station, car dealer, garage, or repair shop. Remember, you're always right with Autolite.
And now here again is Mr. Edward G. Robinson.
Once again, it has been a real pleasure to join Tony Leader and his Suspense cast and crew. I hope they'll invite me back many more times, and that's no April fooling. I know, too, that all of you are going to be as anxious as I am to hear next week's show when radio's outstanding theater of thrills will present Ronald Coleman in The Noose of Coincidence, another gripping study in suspense.
Edward G. Robinson will soon be seen starring in the 20th Century Fox production, The House of Strangers. Tonight's suspense play was written by Joseph Ruskall and prepared for suspense by Walter Newman. Music was composed by Lucien Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Edmund Gwenn, Bob Hope, Mickey Rooney, and many others. Next Thursday, same time, hear Ronald Coleman in The Noose of Coincidence.
You can buy Autolite Stay-Full batteries, Autolite resistor spark plugs, Autolite electrical parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite brings you Ronald Coleman in Noose of Coincidence, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
If you're a fellow who won't put up with second best, what are you waiting for? Replace those old narrow gap spark plugs with wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs and see the difference in your car. Your car will idle smoother, give you better power and performance on leaner gas mixtures, actually save gas. Autolite regular type spark plugs have long been standard factory equipment on many leading makes of cars and trucks. And now six of these leading makes of cars and trucks have switched to Autolite resistor-type spark plugs for factory installation on their new 1949 models. The new wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs are the spark plugs of today and the future. Remember, you're right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents Ronald Coleman in a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Do you know London? Do you remember Swan's Bookshop, 12 Edgemont Row? Yeah, that's it. It's hard to believe that such a quiet, unassuming shop was the scene of unusual, even fantastic happenings. The only thing out of the ordinary about my bookshop, although I feel it's most appropriate, is the sign, or rather symbol, hanging above the door. An arm, made of cast iron, holding aloft a flaming torch. I must confess that the sharp angle inside the elbow attracted some distinctly unbookish creatures. Birds, who found the crook of the arm a splendid place for nest building. I rather liked the birds beneath my bedroom windows, but some of my customers complained quite bitterly about their nesting over the door. So each spring, it became my wicked task to clear away the little home that was a building, and then to try in vain to make peace with the birds and my angry conscience.
Well, Mr. Swan, is it spring again?
Good morning, Constable.
Have a care up there on that ladder, sir. Steady.
Oh, it's not the ladder that's making my knees shaky. It's this monstrous crime I commit every year.
But if you didn't, Mr. Swan, how would the rest of us know it was spring, eh?
Yes, a distinguished career. Christopher Swan, calendar to the neighborhood.
And very honored, sir, be all of us.
Thank you, Constable.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Swan, but you have a customer in your shop?
I do not.
Yes, I saw him go in while I was halfway down the street. He walked right under the ladder, he did, with never a care.
Brave man indeed. Thank you. Good morning. I'm sorry I didn't see you enter. I didn't hear the bell. May I help you?
I don't need help. Your name is Christopher Swan?
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Christopher Swan.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't quite hear.
But you did. Christopher Swan, sir. Your name, my name.
Well, how odd.
Why? People must have names. More people than names, therefore duplication. Bound to happen. My card.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure enough. Christopher Swan. Mental telepathist.
Telepathist and prophet of the future.
Oh. Well, nevertheless, it is very odd.
Well, perhaps it is. In that case, you must save my card and show it to Margaret.
Margaret?
Your wife, sir.
Oh, no, I'm afraid you're mistaken. I have no wife, and I've never been married.
Do you suppose I'm not aware of that?
You are? Well, then I don't see how you can...
Mr. Swan, mental telepathist and prophet of the future. The future? Yes. Margaret, a young woman, pretty too, red hair.
Oh, now, really? I read a good bit about extrasensory perception, Mr. Swan, but when you speak of foretelling the future...
You don't believe a word of it. Well, I don't blame you. No one believes at first.
And later?
Mr. Swan, suppose we drop the subject. I've come here simply to buy some books. Perhaps we may have a little talk in a short time after your marriage.
Now, if a thing like that happened to you, you'd probably laugh at it as I did. But then if, only 5 days later, you met a red-haired girl named Margaret, and she was pretty, and the fresh perfume of spring began to engage in mortal combat with the bachelor in you, then you might begin to believe that all nature conspired to fulfill the prophecy of Christopher Swan.
Of course I want to marry you, but we know so little about each other.
Well, I think that's excellent, Margaret. It'll be an adventure, finding out.
Oh, you'll be disappointed in me. There's nothing to find out.
I don't intend to try it. I expect to be content with you as you are. Well, Margaret?
Oh, I wish you hadn't told me about all that money you inherited. I'd like you to believe that I'm marrying you for yourself. Chris, will you be happy with me? Will you be content?
Happy with Margaret? Content with Margaret? Less than 3 months later, anyone within earshot could have told the answer to that.
Christopher!
Yes, Margaret, I'm coming.
Christopher, this back room is a sight.
Yes, Margaret.
If only you'd do some tidying about here instead of going on as you do. Talk with the customers, day in, day out. And what do you talk about? Books. Nothing but musty old books.
Oh, but that's my business, my dear.
Well, more's the pity. Why, any man with 50,000 good English pounds in Barclays Bank insists upon running an out-of-the-way little bookshop instead of going out into the world and making something of himself.
Margaret, please, there are people in the shop.
People? Loafers.
Now, see here, Margaret.
Don't you dare lose that nasty temper with me. I know you're sorry you married me, but you made a bargain. You might just as well be resigned. Till death do us part, the minister said. Till death do us part.
One day I went up to Hampstead Heath for the fair. Oh, not so much to see the fair as to get away from Margaret. I watched the children on the carousels, and the Pearlies from Lambeth Road, and the girls in white smocks selling jellied apples. And then, suddenly, there he was, again.
Well, sink me, it's my friend, the doubter. How do you do, Mr. Swan?
Quite well, thank you.
My question, Mr. Swan, was purely rhetorical. I'm thoroughly aware that you are not doing well at all.
Wrong again, Mr. Swan.
Now, how can you say again? You did marry a red-haired woman named Margaret, didn't you?
You really believe in your powers. Candidly, I don't. The only thing thus far proven is that there are remarkable coincidences.
My dear Mr. Swan, how the thing happened is quite unimportant. All we must remember is my prediction that it would happen. I didn't say how.
Could you have done that, too?
With a little more concentration, why not? For instance, let me tell you about your wife. Your wife, Mr. Swan, is a shrew and will become more of a shrew each day.
Now, please, I don't think I care to hear about
No, don't go, Mr. Swan. Please, not while I'm concentrating. Now, let me see. Christopher Swan, born one day, I can't quite make that out, in March 1908. Birthplace, the Manor House, Lower Orchard, Bellingdon near Chesham Bucks. 1940, removed to London, acquire bookshop. Father and mother killed in Blitz. There's a pity, Mr. Swan. You, however, inherit £50,000, right?
Yes.
Pounds, right?
Would it be impertinent to point out that you had access to this information in several publications?
Not one bit impertinent, Mr. Swan. But tell me, in which publication could I have learned that on the 9th of November this year you will be hanged by the neck until dead?
I beg your pardon?
Don't look so taken aback, my friend. The gift of prophecy, nothing more. Ability to foresee the future.
You charlatan. Do you seriously expect me to believe...
That you'll be hanged. Of course I don't expect you to believe it, Mr. Swan. Any more than you believed my first prophecy about your marriage. But you will be hanged, Mr. Swan. Pity, really a pity. On the morning of November 9th, hanged by the neck. Until you are dead.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Ronald Colman in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Harlow, heard you played Truth or Consequences at a big Hollywood party.
Sure. They asked me to tell the truth, and naturally I did. I said, friends, those Autolite resistor spark plugs always give a star performance. Smoother idling, better performance on leaner gas mixtures, and actually save gas. Why, they're bigger box office than a movie star.
Hollywood stood for that?
Well, I had to tell the truth. Wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs are the spark plugs of today and the future. Yep, I said, more men go for Autolite resistor spark plugs than for glamorous movie stars. So switch from old narrow gap plugs.
Yeah, they must have loved you.
There I was, telling the truth, and I had to take the consequences, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they threw me into the swimming pool.
Well, let's duck, Harlow. Suspense is on.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Ronald Colman as Christopher Swan in Noose of Coincidence. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Good morning, Mr. Swan.
And a good morning to you, Constable.
Well, I hope it's better than the night I had. Oh, fair horrible, that's what it was. Oh, Mr. Swan, do you have any books that talk about spirits?
Oh, yes, sir. Some very fine ones. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Then there's the American psychologist William James. It's an odd coincidence. That's the man I'm reading now. There you are. William James. The Will to Believe.
Oh, it ain't the believing that bothers me. It's the will to leave it in the bottle.
The bottle?
Spirits, Mr. Swan. Ooh, last night.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Constable. You know, my mind is so set upon a certain... Well, let's see now. Spirits, spirituous, here we are. Spiritus Frumenti.
Christopher!
Oh, heavens.
When will you ever clean this filthy back room?
I'll be there in half a moment, Margaret.
Not in half a moment, now.
Oh, she does have a voice that carries, don't she, Mr. Swan?
Yes, I suppose you just browse along that shelf, Constable, and help yourself to whatever you like.
Look at this place. Look at it. Nothing but old books. Dickens, Thackeray, Victor Hugo. Filthy nonsense. Filthy nonsense.
Now, these are rare editions, Margaret. Please don't handle them like that.
I'll handle them as they deserve. I'll tear them or burn them or fling them about.
Now, Margaret. Margaret! How dare you? It happens that I love this shop and the things in it.
You'd like to die here.
What?
You said so in your sleep last night. I wish I were dead. That's what I heard you say. I don't know what's come over you, Christopher. Moody all the time. Sulking, sulking, sulking. Pity you feel so sorry for yourself.
Margaret, please. Constable Smithers can hear every word.
Let him. Let everybody hear. I've nothing to hide. I never dream about suicide. I made a mistake when I married you, but I'm trying to make the best of it. Pity you can't do the same. Pity you feel there's only one way out.
Yes, a pity. 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 The quiet was gone. The gentle, thoughtful quiet. A bookshop should be a peaceful place. I didn't remember dreaming about suicide, but I suppose I had such dreams. A man wants peace, even if it's only the peace of the grave. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. I wonder if you have St. Maur by D.H. Lawrence, I believe published by Heinemann.
Yes, Heinemann does publish Lawrence, but I'm afraid we don't have... if you'll just step over here. There's been quite a demand for Lawrence lately, and with books in short supply...
I know.
Let me see. St. Maur. There's one copy of Sons and Lovers, one Gypsy. No, I'm afraid we're out. May I order it for you?
No, I really prefer to look for it. It's a good excuse to go tramping about, prowling through bookshops.
Do you like bookshops?
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm glad.
Why?
Nothing. Simply glad. I'm sorry not to have had your book.
I'll find it. Thank you so much.
You might try the Ken bookshop near Victoria Station.
Thank you, I will.
Oh, another idea. Suppose you leave your name and telephone number, and then I'd be able to ring you up if you should happen to come in.
Oh, would you be good enough to do that? My name is Anne Stevens.
Mrs. Anne Stevens?
No, Miss Anne Stevens. Bayswater 3210.
Miss Anne Stevens had red hair, too. But not simply orange red like Margaret's. Her hair was like burnished copper, all warm and bright down to her shoulders. And when she walked in the sunlight, it seemed to be splashed with gold. And I thought to myself, it's probably fragrant and soft to touch. It was only a few days later I met her again in crowded Hyde Park.
What does he say to us?
I'm sorry. Why, Miss Stevens. I am sorry. Well, no, I'm not, really.
Hello.
Did I hurt you?
Of course not. It's Mr. Swan, isn't it?
Yes. You have a remarkable memory for faces.
No more than you. You remembered me.
Oh, but that's different. I've thought about you.
Did you? How nice.
Trying to find a copy of St. Maur. You know. You remember that's what you wanted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did find a copy that same day at the Ken bookshop, thanks to your advice.
Oh.
It's a lovely work.
I haven't read it.
Really? Oh, Mr. Swan, let me give it to you. That is so you could read it. I'll bring it to your shop.
Suppose you bring it to me here. Right here, to this very spot.
Good. Tomorrow, same time.
Tomorrow, same time. And I'll bring something I want you to read. There were many tomorrows, but never enough of them. We talked and walked and spent wonderful hours together. And so many of them were utterly silent because it wasn't necessary to talk. Because when you know someone deeply in your heart, and a red-haired woman, so that charlatan with my name could look into the future. But there were two red-haired women, and I'd met the wrong one first. He came to the shop again, late in the autumn.
Well, good morning, Mr. Swan. Still alive, I see.
Still alive?
Yes, naturally. Until November 9th. That was my prediction, Mr. Swan. Pity.
What is it you want of me, please? Why do you try to impress me? I don't believe a word you say. You must know
The
that.
prophet who gazes into the future, Mr. Swan, knows many things. Bitter things. And he knows more than anything else how we struggle against that which is ordained and which we cannot change.
Rot.
If you say so. Have you a bit of paper, please? Just a bit of paper, whatever's about.
What do you mean, to write on? To rap something?
To write a curious phrase that's been running through my mind. Oh, there, that tablet, that will do. Thank you, Mr. Swan. Here. I'm writing down a bit from a book. You're a bookman. Perhaps you can tell me what book it's from. Wasn't like a man at all to her. There we are. Just read it aloud, please.
She could not believe it was actually happening. When she was dancing in the afternoon at Claridge's, or in the evening at the Carlton, sliding about with some suave man who wasn't like a man at all to her.
Well, Mr. Swan?
I recognize it. What about it? It's from a novel by D.H. Lawrence, a novel called St. Maur. It appears somewhere in the first third of the book.
Yes, how curious. I seem to see it written on the flyleaf for the book. Hey, say, wait, now, I seem to see something beneath it.
Oh, this is absurd.
In the same feminine hand, a delightful hand, the words, "You see, I love you, Anne." Is that correct, Mr. Swan?
Get out of here.
That book seems to be under the papers in the left-hand bottom drawer of your desk. Mr. Swan, how can you be so indiscreet?
Oh, get out.
Suppose Margaret should find it. Trouble, Mr. Swan. Trouble.
What did this mean? How could he know what Anne had written in that book? Was she in league with him? She couldn't be. Not Anne. And yet, I had fallen in love with her, a red-haired woman, as he had prophesied. The answer came soon enough.
Christopher, Constable Smithers is in the shop.
Oh, is he browsing, buying, or chatting?
He wants a copy of a book called St. Maur.
Constable Smithers wishes to read St. Maur?
By D.H. Lawrence.
To begin with, I don't believe he had ever heard of it. Second, we haven't had a copy for ages.
You should take more pains with your inventory, Christopher. There's a copy right there in the bottom left-hand drawer of your desk.
Oh, no, there's not.
I say there is. And we'll have to sell it second-hand. Some lovesick girl's written something on the flyleaf.
You know Constable Smithers doesn't want that book, Margaret.
Of course he doesn't.
I didn't think so. And there's no copy of St. Maur in the desk.
There we differ.
Well, look for yourself.
Thank you. I will. And what do you call this?
Oh, but it's impossible.
Impossible, is it? And didn't I find it here myself this morning, and didn't I read the inscription?
You put it there yourself.
Oh, now I know you've gone mad. I only suspected it before.
Yesterday, the book was in that drawer, when Swan predicted that you'd find it there. But I took it out and hid it upstairs in my bedroom. You returned it to the drawer to make his prediction come true. I didn't sleep well that night. It was the night of November the 8th. Many things had become clear. Margaret knew this fellow Swan, had known him before I met her. Between them, they had arranged his prophecies, the marriage, and the business of the book. This duplicity, this plot against me, was relieved only by one thing. Anne was not in league with Swan, and she did love me. I remember thinking, as I drifted into sleep, that if I could survive the next 24 hours, I would be safe and could free myself for Anne. When I awoke, I found my hands tied to a bedpost with a silk scarf, and Margaret standing at the window that's above the entrance of the shop. Mr. Swan stood on a chair at the clothes cupboard. He was twisting a large hook into the top of the door frame.
Good morning, my boy. It's the 9th of November.
Oh, your prophecy.
Christopher Swan hanged by the neck until dead. Well, you might show some fright, at least some surprise.
I'm too filled with loathing for you both. So you're going to murder me?
What a frightful idea. No, you're going to commit suicide. Pity.
Don't talk to him, Kit. Get it done with.
Oh, yes, Maggie, surely. Maggie is my sister, Mr. Swan.
I knew there was some relationship between you. You have the same tricks of expression. You use the word pity so often. There's not much pity in either of you, is there?
It was a little, Mr. Swan, but it's not stronger than 50,000 pounds. There we are. Do you think that hook will hold, Mr. Swan?
Oh, come to the point. You don't really intend to murder me. What is it you want?
Maggie, he thinks we're only pretending.
Hurry, will you? It's almost time.
Oh, poor Maggie. I hope her share of your fortune will console her. Will it console you, Maggie?
Oh, shut up.
Maggie's having a touch of nerves. Isn't that silly, Mr. Swan? There's no danger to us in this. So many of your customers have heard you threaten to commit suicide.
I doubt if one ever did.
Oh, they think they did, Mr. Swan. That's all that matters. Do you realize how many times Maggie has shouted that information from the back of the shop? Constable Smithers heard it.
Nevertheless, he knows me better than to believe.
Oh, does he? Shall I tell you what Constable Smithers will say to the coroner? He'll say, Yaldy would do himself in some day. Yelled all the time from the day they was made. And there he swung, sir, with his face all black, his eyes bugged out.
Stop it! You're too fond of talking. You'll get us into trouble.
Absurd.
Margaret, you actually married me with this day in mind?
Of course I did.
And you're really going to kill me?
That's the plan.
And I'm sorry there isn't enough of a drop to do the thing quickly, old man. You'll be struggling for quite a bit.
Yes, I know you'll both enjoy watching me.
Not Maggie, no. Maggie's watching for the constable to turn the corner on his rounds. And then she's going to scuttle down the stairs while I do the job, lock the door from the inside, slip through the trap door in the cupboard, and away like St. Nicholas over the rooftops. Then she'll say to him, Constable, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
There he is, Kid, at the corner. Oh, he stopped to talk.
Are you ready, Mr. Swan? Because here you go.
Don't come at me with that noose. I can still kick. I can shout.
No, the walls are thick, my friend. That's why you bought this house. They were built to endure.
I told you to chloroform him.
Ah, don't be stupid. Chloroform these traces.
You wanted him conscious, so he could know how clever you are. Always acting. You and your silly November 9th.
No, will you stop yammering? The constable must be halfway down the street.
He's still at the corner.
You better wait. Better wait till he comes this way, Margaret. They'll say you had time to do it if he finds me cold.
Oh, thank you, Christopher. That's excellent advice.
He's not really pleased, Margaret. Look at him. He wants you to be caught.
Christopher, I'm disappointed. What childish tactics.
Is it, Swan? Is it? Look at him, Margaret. That struck home. It struck home.
And I think I'll have to close your mouth, my friend.
Not while I can kick.
Maggie, throw yourself across his legs.
Don't give in, Margaret. Remember, you face the constable. He gets away over the rooftop.
Maggie, are you in a trance? Throw yourself across his legs.
No.
Maggie, I can't get at him.
I don't care. I don't like it.
It's too late to think about that. Where's the constable? If you won't help me here, get back to that window.
No, he's right.
Bravo, Margaret.
I'm the one who has to go down to Smithers and establish an alibi.
Yes.
I'm the one who'll have to answer all their questions.
That's right.
And where will you be? Where will you be? Safe. Who knows about you?
Yes, and when they hang you for murdering me, he'll inherit the loot. He'll get it all.
Close your trap.
No. I haven't any protection. You hold all the cards.
Of course he does.
Maggie, you're going to ruin everything. Don't you trust your own flesh and blood?
No.
Get back to your post.
Let go of me.
Back to the window. I'll kill you both.
That's it, Margaret. Fight him.
Push
Fight
me.
him.
Don't push me. I can push too. I can push. Oh, Kid. Kid. Oh.
It's queer goings on, sir, you being bound to the bed like this, and him breaking through the window and then hanging from the sign. You'll have to answer some questions, Mrs. Swan.
Hanging from the sign.
I killed him. I killed him.
Yes, and I saw it happen. Saw him smash through the window and come tumbling down and catch his Adam's apple right in the very crook of the elbow, where the sparrows build a nest every spring. Right in the very crook. And there he swung, caught fast, Mr. Swan. Ah, it was horrible, sir. His face black and his eyes bugged out.
Stop it, oh, stop it.
Another prophecy come true.
What's that, Mr. Swan?
I think he could foretell the future. I believe he could. November the 9th. Christopher Swan hanged by the neck until dead. Only he had the wrong Christopher Swan.
Thank you, Ronald Coleman, for a splendid performance.
Oh, Mr. Coleman, would you listen to a sound effect with us for a moment?
Why, certainly, Mr. Wilcox.
Okay, boys. Mr. Coleman, would you say that sounds like Jack Benny's Maxwell?
Yes, I'd say there's a great similarity.
Well, just listen to what Jack Benny's old Maxwell might sound like if it had new Autolite resistor spark plugs and the complete Autolite ignition system.
Mr. Wilcox, if I had a set of those Autolite spark plugs around the house, sooner or later Benny would borrow them. And then perhaps we'd be spared that awful racket.
Well, we'll see what we can do, Mr. Coleman. Friends, Autolite resistor spark plugs are made by Autolite men who make over 400 products for cars, trucks, airplanes, and boats in 28 Autolite plants from coast to coast. Yes, sir, and Autolite also makes complete electrical systems for many makes of America's finest cars. Batteries, spark plugs, generators, starting motors, coils, distributors. All ignition engineered to fit together perfectly, work together perfectly, because they're a perfect team. So, folks, don't accept electrical parts that are supposed to be as good. Ask for and insist on Autolite original factory parts at your neighborhood service station, car dealer, garage, or repair shop. Remember, you're always right with Autolite.
Now here again is Mr. Ronald Coleman.
It's always an interesting and pleasant experience to appear on Suspense, and especially when I can work with such a fine company of actors. Next week, we're all in for a special treat when radio's outstanding theater of thrills presents Edmund Gwenn in a story called Murder in Black and White. Another gripping study in
Suspense.
Tonight's play was written by William Fifield and adapted for Suspense by Herb Meadow. Music was composed by Lucien Moraweck and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Betty Grable, Mickey Rooney, Bob Hope, and many others. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Next Thursday, same time, hear Edmund Gwenn in Murder in Black and White.
You can buy Autolite resistor spark plugs, Autolite stay-full batteries, Autolite electrical parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
Here's great news. Suspense on television may be seen in many parts of the country every Tuesday night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present
Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you Edmund Gwenn in Murder in Black and White, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
Friends, have you got that faraway look in your eye for faraway places? Well, it's spring, so let's get going. Replace old narrow gap spark plugs with wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs. Your car will idle smoother, give you better power and performance on leaner gas mixtures, actually save gas. You see, Autolite regular type spark plugs have long been standard factory equipment on many leading makes of cars and trucks. And now 6 of these leading makes of cars and trucks have switched to Autolite resistor-type spark plugs for factory installation on their new 1949 models. The new Autolite resistor spark plugs are tomorrow's spark plugs today. Remember, you're right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents Edmund Gwenn in a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Tom. 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 He's asleep at last. Now, let's see. I wrap this blanket around the gun to muffle the sound. Aim about there. Then... Tom! Tom is dead. Now, my notebook. Tab A, preliminary procedure. Yeah. Tab B, performance of murder. Yeah. Yes. Everything has been carried out exactly as I planned it. Tom is dead. Now, 9:15. Good. Everything is working out right on schedule. Now, tab C. Procedure to follow murder. Yeah, here it is. Replace pistol in my left jacket pocket. Mm-hmm. Fold blanket across foot of bed, making sure that it's not still smoldering from the discharge of the gun. Using clean handkerchief from breast pocket, wipe soda dispenser and replace on sideboard. Then, pick up decanter and glasses, take them to the kitchen, wash glasses, dry them on handkerchief from breast pocket, put them away, holding with handkerchief. Yeah, dry handkerchief with handkerchief, return to Tom's room and restore it to sideboard. That's it, the decanter there. Replace handkerchief in breast pocket, pull covers up a round body on the bed, put on my hat, take off my gloves, put them in my left-hand pocket with gun, and place notebook in right-hand pocket. Remember, there is no hurry. Now let me see. I believe I anticipated everything quite correctly. Oh, yes. Yes, the bedroom lights. I'll leave on the downstairs light, naturally. Yeah. Well, now 9:30. Thomasina and Clark can't possibly return before 11:30, and I doubt if they'll want to disturb Tom at that hour. No, I'll just stroll across town to my apartment house. People are quite accustomed to my taking a walk each evening after dinner. Then, the train at 11 o'clock for my usual weekly business trip to the city. I'll go directly upon arriving in the city in the morning to my usual hotel. And shortly after that, someone should notify me of Tom's death. Yes. I believe this has been a most satisfactory murder.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Edmund Gwenn in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Hi there, Arnold. Say, what's that?
That's my sound man. To make this commercial dramatic, we start with the deep, solemn tone of a gong. Sound man, I said gong. Oh, well, let's say it's a trainload of car owners rushing to get wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs. Because they know Autolite resistor spark plugs make an engine idle smoother, give better performance on leaner gas mixtures, actually save gas. Now, Hap, the sound of a happy engine idling more smoothly because it has wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs instead of old narrow-gap plugs.
Hey, Arnold, that's a horn.
Oh, that's sound, man. Well, all right, let's say that's folks who missed the train galloping to town to get Autolite resistor spark plugs. And next, the happy hoot of a hilarious horn.
It sounds like a big celebration.
Sure, that's the way folks feel once they install Autolite resistor spark plugs because their engines idle smoother, give better performance on leaner gas mixtures, actually save gas.
Harlow, before your sound man loses his head, let's get back to Suspense.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Edmund Gwenn as Rice Archer in Murder in Black and White. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I hope you had a nice trip, sir.
Yes, very pleasant.
Here you are, sir.
Ah, yes, my regular room. Put my luggage on the floor there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, boy. This is for you.
Oh, thanks. For nothing.
My train was 2 minutes late in arriving, so it must be, yes, 8:32. Now, my notebook. Tab C, item 4. Procedure upon arrival in the city. Yes, excellent.
Your order, please.
Room service, please.
Just a minute, sir.
Room service?
This is room 459.
459, yes, sir.
I'd like some grapefruit. Be sure that it's fresh. 2 eggs, boiled exactly 1 minute and a half. 3 slices of whole wheat toast. I'd like this toasted exactly 2 minutes on each side. Plenty of butter. A pot of coffee with a double order of cream.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. And would you send up at Times? And find out if there's an Amesville Gazette around, will you?
Yes, sir.
Let me see now. Undress, take a shower. Then shave and get dressed. Wear the blue shirt with matching tie. And by that time, breakfast should be served. Yes. Come in.
Room service, sir. I'm sorry, sir, but there was no Amesville paper.
It's not important.
I have a niece who lives in Amesville. She works for an aircraft factory, the Hannigan Company.
Why, that's our company. Well, that is, I'm a junior partner in the firm. The senior partner is Tom Hannigan.
Well, I must remember to tell my niece. Will there be anything else, sir?
No, thank you. I'll just sign the bill. I'm adding your gratuity to the bill.
Thank you, sir. Perhaps you know my niece, or her name is...
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with the names of the employees. That'll be all, waiter.
Yes, sir.
I must be more careful. Almost referred to Tom in the past tense. I believe I should make a note of that. Yes. Be sure to speak of Tom in present tense until after the notification of his murder. Too bad I couldn't get the Amesville paper, but to have made an issue about them sending out for it would have been too pointed. Oh, perhaps the city paper. They must have discovered the body by this time. They probably haven't called or wired out of consideration of the hour, yes. Now, let's see. Cold War gets warmer. President fishing in Gulf Stream. New highway. Politics. Benefit. Prominent citizen dies. Yeah. No, the wrong one. Society. Sport. Drama. No, nothing. It must be that it's just too early, of course. That's it, yes. Fortunately, I've prepared for every possibility. All I have to do is to look in the notebook. Should be right here. Yes. If nothing in the morning paper and no notice received by time breakfast is served, eat breakfast leisurely. Yeah, then proceed with normal business calls, checking back with hotel at frequent intervals. Yes. That's it. Normalcy is the proper note. Now, let's see. Plenty of butter. Toast. Just right. Fine.
Well, Mr. Archer, I hope you didn't come in to tell me that the Hannigan Company can't deliver that order on time.
Not at all. This is merely one of my courtesy calls. Tom and I like to keep our customers happy.
Then all you have to do is to continue turning out precision parts as well as you have been. How is Tom?
Tom is... he's fine.
Hotel Sherman.
Mr. Archer speaking. Mr. Rice Archer, room 459. Are there any messages for me?
Just
Please?
a minute, Mr. Archer. I'll connect you with the desk clerk.
Thank you. I must be sure I have this right. Tab C, yes, here it is. Procedure with hotel clerk. Good. Good, I have an answer for anything He may tell me. Yes.
Desk clerk. Hello, desk clerk.
This is Mr. Rice Archer, room 459. Any messages, please?
Just a minute, Mr. Archer.
They'll probably telephone.
Mr. Archer?
Yeah?
There's nothing for you, Mr. Archer.
Nothing?
Not a thing.
Thank you. Very much. I'm really in town on business, Mr. Whitcomb. But I couldn't resist stopping in long enough to see if there was anything new in jade on the market.
I don't know if you're interested, Mr. Archer, but I've just heard that Joyner in Philadelphia is willing to sell his snuff box from the Ming Dynasty. You know, it's white jade with an inlaid green dragon. Joyner is asking $12,000.
From the Ming Dynasty? Try to get it for me.
All right, Mr. Archer. Business must be good, eh?
Business is excellent.
No one has called, Mr. Archer.
And how's that old son of a gun, Tom?
Tom, he's... I believe he's fine.
Not a thing, Mr. Archer. There's nothing for you, Mr. Archer.
I'm sure the eggs are 1.5 minutes each. 3 slices of whole wheat toast, toasted 2 minutes on each side, plenty of butter, a double order of cream with a pot of coffee, and that'll be all. 24 hours since I arrived in the city and still no word. Well, there must have been some sort of slip-up at home, and in some manner perfectly plausible if one knew what it was. News of Tom's death has been delayed. Oh, it doesn't mean anything except my plan of action must be held up until someone calls me. Surely I'll hear sometime during the day.
Nice of you to take me to lunch, Archer. I must say I look forward to your regular visits. How's Tom?
Tom, I haven't... he's fine, very fine.
Well, Archer, you certainly know your restaurants. That was quite a dinner.
Huh? Thank you.
The last time I was talking to Tom, he mentioned you had a lot of bomber clips ordered by the government and then canceled. He said you'd sell them cheaply, since the government paid for the cancellation, if someone could figure out a use for them. Well, I believe I've got an idea, and I'd like to know what you and Tom think.
Tom? Why, Tom's fine.
Your order, please.
Desk clerk, please.
Just a minute.
Desk clerk.
This is Mr. Rice Archer, room 459. Any messages?
No messages, Mr. Archer.
I see. I'll be checking out in a few minutes, clerk. Taking the midnight train back to Amesville. You might send the boy up in 15 minutes, and if there are any messages before I check out, you will call me. Won't you? Two days away from home and not a word from anyone. Well, they must have discovered the body. Well, I'll be home in the morning. I'll go straight to the factory, and then someone will tell me. Surely of course, it's entirely possible that everyone thinks I've been told by someone else. Of course, that's it. Things have been very strange today. Why, there have been times when I almost felt as if I hadn't killed Tom. That I'd imagined the whole business. Yes, it's really most fortunate that I wrote everything down in the notebook. I only have to reread it to remember. To remember that Tom is dead and that I killed him. I'll be home in the morning. Nothing to worry about now. No, I have everything in the notebook, ready to say and do when I at last hear the news. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Archer.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Archer.
Strange. Everyone seems to be acting quite normally. Perhaps because they're only employees. Of course, that's it. The workers would feel no sorrow. They didn't know Thomas. I did. Now, let me see. Normal procedure would be to let Clark Henley know I'm back. Yes. Miss Gordon, would you inform... Oh, never mind. Morning, Clark.
Good morning, Mr. Archer. How was your trip to the city?
Excellent, Clark. I managed to get a couple of orders increased substantially. Everything go all right here?
Sure.
That's, fine. How's Tom?
Great. He'll probably be back to work in a day or two.
He will? Fine. Excellent, in fact.
Yeah, it'll be great to have him back, won't it, Mr. Archer?
Huh? Oh, yes. I was thinking about the additional orders.
Well, Tom will be glad to hear about those. You know how he worries about the business. Well, gotta get back to work. See you later, Mr. Archer.
Procedure following murder. What to say if notified of Tom's death by Thomasina, by Clark, by police. What to do if read of death in paper before personal notification. Everything. Everything except...
Uncle Bryce, you're back.
Yeah.
How was the Wicked City, Uncle Rice?
Like it always is. Everything is normal.
Uncle Rice.
What is it, Thomasina?
Purple lipstick. See? I'm going to leave lathers of it on Clark's cheek. You know why? He proposed last night.
Congratulations. I suppose your father will be pleased.
Tom, he was delighted. We're going to have an engagement party tomorrow night. Couldn't have it until after you got back. Tom wouldn't hear of it.
Tom? How is he?
Fine. Tom's fine.
Mr. Archer, I'm going home early. I'm not feeling too well, and tomorrow's a big day. But I'm taking some work home with me.
Yes, of course.
I suppose you'll be going over tonight to tell Tom about the new orders.
Tom? Oh, yes, that might be a good idea.
Now, you'll be tickled to death to hear about him. You know Tom.
Oh, Mr. Archer.
Yeah? What is it, Miss Gordon?
Clark Henley just called.
Oh?
He said he'd taken one of the account books home with him, and he suddenly thought you might see it was missing and worry about it. So he just wanted you to know he had it.
Oh, which account book?
Mr. Henley said he had the one covering our old government contract.
But why?
Well, Mr. Henley ordered a general audit for tomorrow, and he said he wanted to go over that book tonight.
Oh.
So... Why, Mr. Archer, what's wrong? You've turned as white as a sheet.
Order and control. Those are the important things. There must be a logical explanation why they haven't told me about Tom. Why Clark has ordered an audit, and why he's looking into our government contracts. Everything is in my notebook. Yes. Here it is. Plan for killing Tom Hannigan. Reasons why murder is necessary. The government contracts. Yes. Yes, it was so easy when the war was over and everything was being cleaned up to make the government pay twice for the orders. Just a few little changes in the books and that money was mine. It wasn't like taking the money from Tom or our regular customers. And it wasn't as if I was spending the money foolishly. No, it was spent on my jade collection. But Tom might have misunderstood. He might have called it stealing, and I would have been put in jail. You know, I wouldn't have had my jade. No. When Tom was ill, he started thinking about the government orders. Yeah. Maybe Clark Henley put him up to it. He... Yes. I didn't think of that. All I knew was that I could let Tom live and lose all that was dear to me, which was unthinkable, or I could kill Tom and keep everything. Yeah, now I did put Tom to sleep. And I did shoot him. And here, Tom's daughter, who loved him, giggles about her purple lipstick. Oh, it's unseemly. I'll demand that she... No. Order and control. Now, what would be the normal procedure? Yes, of course.
Mr. Hannigan's residence?
Evening, Ethel. This is Mr. Archer.
Well, hello, Mr. Archer.
Is Mr. Hannigan there?
Yes, sir. You
Eh?
want to talk to him?
Yeah, please.
Just a minute. Hey, Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom. Well, I guess he's sleeping, Mr. Archer.
Huh?
But I'll tell him you called. He ain't feeling so good this afternoon.
Well, what seems to be trouble?
Oh, he must have ate something.
Huh?
Something that didn't sit right. He's got kind of an ache-like. Kind of a pain. Oh, you might call it heartburn.
Oh, too bad. Bye. Clark. Thomasina. Now, the housekeeper. Heartburn. Doesn't anyone know that Tom's dead except me? I can't be the only one. I've got to tell. I've got... No. Order. And control, yes. Yes, I've got to think this out. Now, look here. I know that Tommy's dead. I saw him die. But Clark and Thomasina announce their engagement, plan a party. Clark, Thomasina would do anything, he says. Clark ordered an audit of the books for tomorrow. Clark took home the book of government accounts, the book I had to alter. Clark! That's it. Enough wearing pipsqueak. I'll fire him. Right now. No. Better think it out. Order. Control. Yes. That's a better idea. Now, I shot Tom. I did. I know I did. Because I wasn't sure I could stab him. A human being as a human being's frailties. Tom was my friend, had been for 20 years. It was just unthinkable that I could take a knife and stab him. I couldn't do a thing like that to a man who was my friend. No, that's why I shot him. But I can't stab young Clark Henley. Impudent, interfering Clark Henley. Pierce him like a child's balloon. He's home now, looking for the mistake that'll catch me. My notebook. We'll take a new page for this. Yes. Plan for killing Clark Henley. Evening, Clark.
Well, hello, Mr. Archer.
How are you? I wanted to talk to you about something. I hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all. Come right in. In fact, I'm glad you came. We were just talking about you. Yes, Tom and I.
Tom?
Yes, he's in the kitchen mixing a drink. Come on out, Tom. Mr. Archer's here.
No, he can't be. Tom's dead.
What did you say? How did you know Tom is dead?
Well, it was my notebook. It's right here. It's tab. It must be one of them.
I'll take that notebook.
No.
Yes, just as I thought. All right, officer, here's the whole story in this little notebook.
I guess you were right, Mr. Henley. But I never thought I'd see anything like this.
No, you can't. You can't do this. It isn't the way I planned it.
I knew we'd trap him this way. He's never been able to do anything without preparing a notebook.
Yeah, but...
Tom told me he couldn't even hire a secretary without planning all the dialogue in advance and writing it out.
Right.
That's why I made everyone pretend Tom was still alive. I knew if he didn't have all the answers in his little book, he'd have to break.
Break.
Well, come along, Archer.
No, it really wasn't fair. Not killing me. And I had it all written down in black and white.
Thank you, Edmund Gwen.
Friends, Autolite resistor spark plugs are ignition engineered by Autolite, which makes over 400 products for trucks, cars, airplanes, and boats in 28 Autolite plants from coast to coast. Yes, sir, and Autolite also makes complete electrical systems for many makes of America's finest cars. Spark plugs, batteries, generators, starting motors, coils, distributors. All engineered to fit together perfectly, work together perfectly, because they're a perfect team. So, folks, don't accept electrical parts that are supposed to be as good. Ask for and insist on Autolite original factory parts at your neighborhood service station, car dealer, garage, or repair shop. Remember, you're always right with Autolite.
Now here again is our star, Mr. Edmund Gwen.
You know, I've really enjoyed returning to the Suspense Playhouse. This program is a favorite of most Hollywood actors, and much of their enthusiasm comes from the opportunities Suspense gives them to play a different kind of part. See? Well, for instance, I'm sure you're going to want to hear next week's show when Betty Grable appears in an unusual role in a story called The Copper Tea Strainer. Another gripping study in
Suspense.
Edmund Gwen appeared through arrangement with MGM, producers of the Technicolor picture Little Women, starring June Allison, Peter Lawford, Margaret O'Brien, and Elizabeth Taylor. Tonight's suspense play was adapted for radio by Eli David from a story by Ann Wormser and Jess Oppenheimer. Music was composed by Lucien Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader.
You can buy Autolite resistor spark plugs, Autolite stay-full batteries, Autolite electrical parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
This is Cancer Control Month. Do your share in the fight to control this vicious killer by generously supporting the American Cancer Society. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present
Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you Edward G. Robinson in You Can't Die Twice, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
Friends, if a camel got a drink of water only 3 times a year, his tongue would hang out like a Christmas necktie. But an Autolite Stay Full battery thrives on 3 drinks a year. Yes, sirree, an Autolite Stay Full battery needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. And by Cornelius, an Autolite Stay Full battery has extra plates for extra power, protected by fiberglass insulation for stronger, longer life. Why, in recent tests conducted according to the Society of Automotive Engineers Life Cycle Standards, Autolite Stay Full batteries gave 70% longer average life than batteries without the Stay Full features. So remember, be battery right. Get Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents Edward G. Robinson in a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Yeah. It's funny how it happened. Take a good look at me. Am I the type you'd say could harm a fly? Ask around my neighborhood, or ask any of my old customers. Sam, they tell you...
Sam Brown? Why, he wouldn't say boo. Sam Brown, a murderer? Besides, there must be some mistake somewhere. Sam's dead. A whole year now.
So that's what I want to explain, how it all happened. It all began that Sunday morning at home with my wife, Katie. Poor Katie. An April fool.
Today is April Fool, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, I guess it is, Katie. Why?
Why? Because we'll have to expect a lot of silly tricks today, that's why, from your so-called friends.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we'll have to be on our guard. Well, what do you know about... Did you hear that, Katie?
Yeah, I did.
Well, that was me, wasn't it? Me they were talking about. That's a hot one, isn't it? Huh?
Sam, that phone call just now.
Yeah?
I thought it was an April Fool joke. Must have been the police. Wonder how in the world...
Huh? Now what?
Let me... Hello?
Katie? This is Harry, Katie. Gert and me, we just heard. We were listening to the radio and you... You all right, Katie? You know about it?
Sure I know about it, but...
Oh, we feel awful about it, Katie. And we're coming right over. We'll take care of everything.
Harry, listen. It's all...
Gert'll go downtown with you when you're ready. And while you're... That is while you're there, I'll take care of all the paperwork. Now, excuse me for mentioning it at a time like this.
I don't have to go any... What paperwork?
The insurance policy I sold Sam, remember? Remember I told you both how someday it might be... Well, little did I dream. I'm so glad I talked you both into it. 10,000 with double indemnity for accidental death. That's 20,000, you know. A final thought for your welfare from Sam.
Harry, I can't...
I know you don't want to talk about it now. Listen, Katie, we'll be right over. 15 minutes.
Harry!
What was that all about? What do you want? Katie, I'm talking to you.
Wait. Sam? I'm trying to think. Oh, it's impossible. You're right here. But, Sam, what do they mean?
Huh?
They identified you by your wallet. You have it, don't you?
My wallet?
Your wallet!
Naturally, right here in my pocket where I always... What the devil? I'm wearing the same pants. It's not here. Wait a minute. I remember something now. Well, that maybe clears up this whole mystery.
Yes, Sam?
Well, last night after the poker game, coming home on the bus, there was some character jostling against me. We almost had a fight on the bus. Sure, now I think of it, he must have picked my pocket. Why, Katie, it's him they must have found on the turnpike. Sure, say, let me at that phone, will you? I'll call the police and straighten out this
No,
whole...
wait. Wait, Sam.
What for?
Sam, maybe we ought to consider this thing a little.
Consider what?
Your $10,000 life insurance policy, Sam, with that double indemnity clause.
What are you talking about?
About our one big chance that we've been waiting for.
Say, what are you driving at?
Did anybody see you coming home last night?
No, I don't think so. Why?
Can't you understand? There's a body lying in the morgue. The only thing you got to go by was that wallet. Say you never came home last night, Sam, or ever again. Say I went right now and identified that wallet. The insurance company would pay me $20,000, wouldn't they?
Yes, I guess they would. Are you out of your mind?
You could disappear right now. Go to Chicago, say, without being seen. I could write you general delivery. After a while, after I collect, I could join you there.
Okay.
No one will be the wiser. We can begin life all over, rich. This could be it, Sam.
No. Money gotten this way would never do us any good, Katie.
For that amount of money, I'll take my chance, and so will you.
Katie.
You'll do it, Sam. Oh, yes, you will. Because if you let me down this time, it's the end.
Katie,
$20,000. $20,000.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Edward G. Robinson in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Say, Hap, will you help me out here?
Well, sure.
All right. Pretend you're on a quiz program, and I asked you this question. What is it that needs water only 3 times a year?
Well, let's see. It's, is it a kangaroo?
No, it's not a camel nor a cactus.
Oh. Well, can you give me a hint?
All right. Goes on your car. The initials are ALSFB.
ALSFB? Oh, I've heard that somewhere before.
It's dandy. It's dynamic. It delivers power, pep, performance. It's an Autolite Stay Full battery that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
Hey, don't tell me. Let me think. It's,
I can't give you any more hints, except to say it's an Autolite Stay Full battery with that extra liquid reserve.
That's it. It's an Autolite Stay Full battery.
Right, with Autolite. The gentleman wins a hand-embroidered Autolite Stay Full battery carrying case and the right to drive into the nearest Autolite service station and buy an Autolite Stay Full battery. Remember, be battery right, huh?
You're talking.
Yeah.
After the way you fell for that April Fool's joke last year.
Yeah, some letdown, all right. When I learned it was all a practical joke and I hadn't won $50,000 in the Irish sweepstakes. Hey, you sure took it to heart, too.
Oh, why not? Will I ever in my life even see money like that?
Oh, Katie, please.
Will you ever make it from your miserable milk route? Will you?
Oh, I'm sorry I even mentioned it.
You were going to give me so much. You were going to get places. Throw $1 million at my feet. $1 million what? Empty milk bottles?
Well, so I didn't get the breaks. Now, what do you want me to do, Katie? Rob a bank, murder someone? Please let me alone, will you? I want to hear.
Turn that off and listen to me. Murder somebody, he says. Being poor is murdering me. I'm fed up, I tell you. Look up to here.
Oh, Katie, please.
Don't Katie me. What's the matter so early in the morning? Hello?
Mrs. Catherine Brown?
Yes.
You're the wife of Samuel E. Brown of 22 Maple Street?
Yes.
I'm sorry to have to inform you that your husband has been killed, Mrs. Brown.
What's that?
His body was found just a few hours ago in a ditch on the Clinton Turnpike. Killed by a hit-and-run driver, Mrs. Brown.
Ha, ha, ha. What is this? Somebody's idea of an April Fool gag? Now cut it out.
Well, I'm really sorry, Mrs. Brown, but this is not an April Fool gag. I wish it was for your sake. Please call it the county morgue, will you?
What?
Well, you'll have to identify the remains. It's almost beyond recognition. But there's a wallet, Mrs. Brown. That's
Katie,
all we have to go on.
Listen, you. You think a joke like this is funny? You ought to have your head examined. Who is this?
Police Sergeant Ryan, ma'am. 3rd Precinct.
Go on, you crazy dope.
Mrs. Brown, please be at the morgue as soon as you can. That is, if you want to claim your husband's body.
Hey, what was it? Some gag?
Of course it was a gag. When you're right here, probably that Joe Brody again with his April Fool jokes. He'll get a piece of my mind, believe you me.
Four firemen, however,
Must
were
you
overcome
listen
by
to that
the smoke.
radio?
Oh, Katie, my one day off a week. Let me live,
the body of a
please.
man tentatively identified as Samuel E. Brown, a local milk driver employed by Dessel Dairies Company.
What? What did you say?
Shut up. Been the victim of a hit-and-run driver. The body was found in a ditch on the Clinton Turnpike, mutilated almost beyond recognition. A wallet is the sole clue as to his identity. And that winds up the 9:30 edition of the...
Switch to Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Edward G. Robinson as Sam in You Can't Die Twice, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Katie always could make me jump through a hoop. Besides, I might as well admit it. I'm human. Show me the human can spit of that kind of money. Anyway, I snuck out of town that very day, got to Chicago, got me a crummy room under the name of Lionel Hendricks. Weeks went by and nothing happened. No news at all from Katie, and I got really frightened. Something gone wrong. I wrote her, got an answer, general delivery.
Dear Mr. Hendricks, in answer to your inquiry, everything is proceeding smoothly. I'm advised that the delay on the transaction is because of its unusual nature. No more letters, please. Thank you for your interest sincerely.
More weeks passed. Another month, 2, 3, without a word from her. How the police found out. Were they on my trail? And then I began to get suspicious of Katie. What was she up to? I had to phone her.
Hello?
This is me.
Are you out of your mind? Oh, it's you, Clara.
Well, I had to talk to you. Why haven't you written? What are you up to? Haven't you got it yet?
Not yet.
Well, when?
In a little while, Clara. Just have a little more patience.
Oh, cut out that Clara stuff.
I'll be seeing you soon,
But,
dear.
Katie, it's awful lonesome for me. You love me, Katie?
Of course I do.
Well, I get to wondering. It's 6 months now. This is crazy. I'm a wreck. I'm scared. I can't stand this life. I've never been away from home. I'm a family man, Katie.
Katie, make it quick, will you? For Pete's sake.
Who's that?
What?
That voice.
You're imagining.
I heard a man's voice. He's right there in the room with you. Now, don't deny it.
I'll explain everything when I see you, Clara.